Now, 3TW sales strategy.
Yeah.
You've already shared with us over the previous two 3TW some great top tips around shaping the sales strategy, some of the key bits that need to go in there, even if you're keeping it to a one-pager, who you need to communicate that to. There's a lot of sayings attached to business and sales especially. One of the ones that I think probably one of the first ones that I came across in the early 90s when I was a very young child, obviously, was what gets measured gets done. And you talked in the previous two, you touched on the need to have the right metrics, the right management information, the MI, and the key performance indicators in place. Share a little bit more of your knowledge on that, if you will, please, Nev.
Of course, well, yeah. And it's really interesting, that expression, what gets measured gets done. I've heard the complementing expression, which is what gets rewarded gets repeated.
Yes.
So those two little things fit really well together. And I think what's fascinating is when it gets to the measures piece, many people don't understand some of the real fundamental things they should be measuring. So let's talk about one specific area. As an example, we did a work with a client recently, and one of the things we looked at in terms of their measure was where are they getting all of their opportunities from? So, you know, the business they won or opportunities they lost, where did they all come from? And we categorised them into 5 areas. And from memory, they were speaking at conferences, networking, referrals from existing clients, inbound activity, clients coming to them and asking for stuff, and outbound activity. And one of the measures we did was just track back the value and the number of every opportunity that came from each of those 5 different areas. And the reason we did that was it gave us absolute clarity then about measuring and getting stuff done. Well, actually, as it turned out, the networking and the speaking at conferences and events generate the maximum amount of opportunity for this organisation. Well, the scale-up piece of that was actually, as part of the strategy, let's go to more conferences and speak more often, and let's go networking most effectively.
Was that a surprise for that client?
It was, because they hadn't thought about this previously,
Right.
but many organisations fall into this trap.
And I'm guessing if they didn't have that clarity from the work you did with them, would they have gone down a different path and possibly put their resources to a different use that may not have been as productive?
Well, actually, you talk about them going down a path. What had happened was they'd gone down several paths.
Okay.
They were treading 5 paths and considering others that they might want to go and do.
Right.
So effectively, you'll try this week, is have a look at the source of every single piece of business that you've got, be absolutely clear about where that business comes from, and look at the areas where you get the highest volume and highest value, and where
Yes.
those two things correlate. Let's understand how you repeat that and do more of it. And if there's a channel that isn't yet working for you, then you've got the measures and the metrics to decide whether you want to continue or leave that area alone.